So just so everybody is aware, this is Reigns' second time in the United States. I think it's been about 11 months since Apex 2010, so it's been almost a year since Reigns been here. At Apex, we saw him primarily as a Falco main. He's seconded Meta Knight. However, it seems now that Reign is more of a Meta Knight main. Surprise, surprise. I mean, it's really just a better choice, especially playing in America. Meta Knight will get you farther than Meta Knight, or Meta Knight will get you farther than Falco. I don't know if I can say the same for Japan. I've seen some of their results, not all of them. Supposedly at Apex he was their best player. I don't know about that now. But what's really interesting here is I don't know about the top name Marths in Japan. However, Mikehaze is by far the best Marth here in the U.S. and he's specifically known for his prowess in the Meta Knight matchup. He's getting constant practice from players such as Havoc and Tyrant and Terror Bear, and it's really helping him out in the matchup. And everybody keeps saying that like if Marth keeps going on with all that he can able to do, he might become the one Meta Knight counter everybody's looking for. Right now we're seeing percents almost tied exactly. This is dangerous. When Marth gets a grab on a Smashville platform, that's what happens. I knew it was going to happen. I told you guys. So right now we have Mike Hayes with a good lead here. I still think Marth can survive until about maybe 130 or so, especially if Meta Knight, if he stales his down smash, which he just hit him with it, it could be as much as 135, 140. Rain is still a low percent. He can easily bring this back. It's really anybody's game right now. However, Mike Hayes is definitely in the lead. There's a very good roll on the trip by Mike Hayes, and Mike Hayes successfully recovers. He's getting close to that 130% I was mentioning, and Rain. uh, all right. So everybody said this was an incredibly hyped match, so I'm predicting Rain somehow wins, which would be kind of surprising after that. And that's not the first time I've seen him do that this tournament. I guess he's doing crazy ultra technical stuff that Americans haven't figured out yet, and he's just messing up. Rain finally got the kill on Mike Hayes around 140%. Close to my original prediction, however, I was predicting a kill with a down smash, not an up B, because up being Marth off stage is incredibly risky, and personally I'm surprised his third stock didn't like get lost like that. So I'm thinking Mike Hayes is really kind of confident about this right now, especially knowing him as a player. He's kind of cockier than most players, so I'm hoping that this kind of confidence here like won't kind of get to his head, because even though he's at an extreme advantage right now with almost an exact one full stock lead in a matchup that he knows very well, it could actually kind of be bad for him. And he did something incredibly unsafe there. I don't know why he did that, but again, Rain doesn't capitalize on the edge guard, and even though edge guarding Marth is a little bit harder for Meta Knight than, say, like a Snake matchup, it's definitely still possible. And if Marth gets off stage, that even with his very quick up B that has some invincibility frames, Meta Knight can still do work on it. Now, we saw the characters recently tied at around the 50%. Mike Hayes, though, is getting close to that kind of kill range. I'm saying like around 135 or so is, I'd say, about the life expectancy of a Marth versus a very good Meta Knight like Rain. And 145 has now exceeded that limit, while Rain is still at a very manageable 72%. And what I'm really kind of upset about is that since I only know that there's two matches, I know whoever wins this game is going to win the set, and it's an extremely good set so far. We're seeing stock tied now. However, Rain is about 60% lower than Marth, but really that's only about maybe 6 or 7 tornadoes if you get more like a lot of damage from them and not just like a couple percent here and there. Rain's going for very kind of risky up Bs, but you know what? When you're at this kind of percent, you need to... Oh! And he gets the kill, killing Mike Hayes at like 80%, and so we saw Rain SDing, which he's done multiple times at this tournament, but mostly on stages like Rainbow Cruise or Brinstar because of lack of knowledge of the stages, because the Japanese players don't usually play on counter picks. Their rule set is based around just neutrals, and when I say just neutrals, I'm talking like more like conservative neutrals than even like America uses. So that's why everybody's picking them to these crazy stages such as Rainbow and Brinstar. But that's what really surprises me about the next match here. We're going back to Battlefield. Now, back when we saw Mikehaze and Tyrant versus Seabrook and ADHD, and when they had picked Battlefield for the second game, and I said that's not a good idea because I think they needed a stage to kind of benefit Tyrant. But I said they probably picked it because of Mikehaze. He probably likes Battlefield. He can kind of chill underneath the platforms, and with the long range of his sword, which Mars sword is longer than Meta Knight's, he can kind of outrange him and kind of get him into a really interesting position. So seeing that game two of Mikehaze versus Rain really only strengthens my reasoning for why they picked Battlefield versus ADHD and Sabrick, which is a bad idea. But even though that they had still lost that match, I'm wondering how that's going to affect Mikehaze versus Rain here. Like if he's really up to par with Battlefield right now, if he's really doing well versus Meta Knights. And I really think that when you play a Japanese player, especially seeing how Rain has performed in past matches, and because they've had 3 days to watch Rain and Earth now, and it's very clear that they're not as good on Brinstar and Rainbow. And even though it'd be suicidal for a Marth to take a Meta Knight there, I really think one of Mike Hayes' best choices would have been Brinstar, and he said he goes with Battlefield, so let's see how it goes. We're seeing what I see, like what I notice about Rain a lot of times is, at least compared to American players, Japanese players are very technical. They're very on point. Like they will practice everything until it is mastered. Like they don't care about the tech barrier. I would think, and they just like skill is not an issue. However, I'm seeing a lot of just tornado spam. I mean, this is already his fifth tornado this match. I think he's really getting that American swag on right now. And that American Meta Knight swag. And you know what? It's like the only move he's doing right now. This is hilarious. I'm really like what I just really don't get here. Oh my god. So everything is interrupting my commentary right now because I'm shocked at like what's going on right now. And like Rain won the last match, bringing back the two-stock deficit with really good, aggressive, physical play. He's using a lot of A moves, aerials, and he didn't really tornado that much last game. So I'm wondering why he would completely switch his playstyle from what was working here. And what I think is hilarious right now is the fact that we know Rain is going to win this, unfortunately, due to the count of replays. But, and we already seen early death. This is just like game one already, except it's on Battlefield. Mike Hayes around 135 or so, the same percent I've been saying the whole time, and he dies to an offstage attack from Rain. But Rain is still heavy on his tornado, and I think maybe he's realizing this is one of the best ways to succeed with Meta Knight. And we're still seeing a strong play from Mike Hayes. He's still trying very hard. He's got about a 50% lead right now, which isn't that much, but once you get into the 74% range, especially considering he's already fallen for two grab release to deaths against Mike Hayes, which has been really key in this matchup. So I'm just wondering how this is going to continue to play out. If Rain seems to be using a little bit less tornado as the match goes on, and he's using a bit more physical attacks, which I think is a really like a better option in this matchup. I think one of the best moves for Meta Knight to use in this matchup is up air, because the way up air is angled around Meta Knight's body, it really gets it around Marth's body, and it kind of reaches like beyond his sword. Now, we saw another good kill by Mike Hayes on Rain. However, just like the first stock, Rain was able to bring it back very quick. And we saw earlier Mike Hayes was countering an up B and a tornado from Rain. However, now it's that it seems to be on the other side, and now that when Rain was tornadoing, he was able to adapt to Mike Hayes, and he stalled a little bit before the counter. And as I say that, Rain just completely throws all my commentary back in my face and just runs right into a counter, so I don't even know what to think anymore. We're seeing grab release after grab release by Mike Hayes. I think there's been about maybe 4 or 5 grab releases this match so far. All of them have led to fairs. I think one of them was to a down air on stage, which led to a tech chase. One was to the down air kill at the beginning. We're seeing Rain at like a 50% deficit. He just brought it to about 40%. Now 30% or 35%ish. But really, this is still anybody's game. Meta Knight's definitely not a kill percent. That up B is crucial. And Rain goes for another offstage up B. I did not expect at all. I've never seen any Meta Knight fish for kill moves so hard like that before. And even though Rain killed himself,